distinction between a large-scale, years-long, multivariate counterterrorism action on one hand and war on the other. And he's saying this isn't going to be a war. In part, I have to take issue with him in saying that this is not going to be combat. As far as I'm concerned, once we've got pilots in the air dropping bombs over forces that have anti-aircraft artillery on the ground, those pilots are on combat missions already. The 1,100 Americans who are there, soon to be 1,500 Americans. You may not want to call them combat troops, but they're going to be in hostile territory, engaged in hostile actions against an enemy that wants to kill them. That's very close to combat. The question, though, is if you stop trying to parse those words and instead talk about the overall mission, can this be seen as something that Congress doesn't need to declare as a war and that the American people shouldn't view as a war-sized commitment? It's very hard to say, I think, until we start doing it, but that distinction, for me, it seems very thin.
Richard Engel, the president is using the machinery of war, he is using the personnel of war, but like everyone else in Washington, he doesn't want to use the word war. And the distinction that everyone in Washington seems to lean on here that makes this not a war is what has now become that cliched phrase, boots on the ground. As long as no American boots touch the soil where you are now, then we will not call it a war. How does